Hello and welcome back to the Fastest Podcast. I'm your host Jess, and I have today with me Pigeon and Dogra, and we are going to be talking about all things qualifying in Qatar for the Qatar Grand Prix. We have 8 teams rounding out the top 10. That is just not something that you see ever. So very impressive to see that mixed grid. And yeah, the grid is mixed all the way from top to bottom. So lots to talk about and lots to look out for tomorrow if we dare to dream of seeing an overtake. So lots to discuss today. Let's start with Ferrari. Maybe a bit of a mixed day. Weekend. Season.
What? Sorry?
Hmm?
Mixed. Mixed means performances that are good.
I was about to say it's been pretty consistently disappointing for Ferrari,
Exactly.
especially towards the end.
At least they're consistent.
I think it's consistency. It's consistency like Alpine is consistently qualifying P19 and P20.
Well, you say that. Pierre Gasly did qualify P9 today. Thank you.
Yeah,
ahead of Charles Leclerc.
Like I said,
And Lewis
consistently
Hamilton.
disappointing.
And Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton, my heart hurts for him.
Do you know the tweet that Mercedes made when he was going to Ferrari? They said, take care of him. Where is that care?
I can't see it. I mean, Fred Vasseur did say yesterday, like he's not happy. I hope he's not happy, because why would he be happy essentially with these results that are coming? Leclerc, I said mixed because Leclerc he did make it to Q3. He did have a spin. Could have gone quite badly. So good for him for keeping that on the track.
He did
He
lose
has
the
been
lap though.
losing control. Yeah,
He
he's
did.
been losing control of the entire car for like this entire weekend. Like, it was basically coming at this point.
Something that they can all agree on at Ferrari is that the car has somehow gotten worse since yesterday, where things were already pretty bad, because Lewis also qualified P18 for today's sprint race, and he stayed in P18. He could make no, he didn't. He did go forward, but only because others pitted and went backwards. So it was a pretty dreary day down at Ferrari as a whole.
As it
Leclerc.
always is.
This weekend is particularly bad, though.
I think this has been Ferrari's worst performance in like the past decade at this point.
I mean, 2020 was pretty bad, I believe.
It was pretty bad,
but still worse, I think.
I think it's difficult because we know that it is just the car. You can't fault a 7-time world champion and Charles Leclerc. Like, they are both exceptional drivers, exceptional talents, and their driver error has been a factor this season. But at this point, that car is just genuinely undrivable. Leclerc only has an advantage because he's been stuck there suffering for so long, and he's used to the horrors. So I just think it's terrible weekend for them.
Can we just move on?
We will, but I just want to ask the question: do you think that they can go forward tomorrow?
No.
Because if we base it on the sprint race, the answer is no.
We have seen, and I don't think it's even worth really talking about the sprint race. We've seen a grand total of 1 overtake in the sprint race. Two if you count the Lawson Leclerc thing where they gave back the places. But one overtake in 19 laps.
Overtakes technically.
It's
overtakes technically.
Yeah, I mean we said it before. It's not a track where you can do anything. DRS doesn't do anything this year. If you want to make a move, it has to be done either in the pit lane or at the start.
We have another thing that can mix things up, though, in Qatar, and that is track limits. Track limits violations are a huge factor at this circuit because it's just all curb, all desert. There's no walls, there's no barriers.
There is gravel.
There's gravel, but if you dip a wheel, if you go 4 wheels off, it's over pretty quickly, and you can rack up violations very quickly, as we have seen in the past. We've seen drivers already this weekend as well losing laps. So penalties, yeah. So it's not ideal.
Well,
it's not ideal for that.
I like how they tried something, because track limits has been an issue of the past as well. They took the Austria approach, where they just, if we have a track where track limits is an issue, we just add some gravel traps. What can be the harm? In this case, it is about 16 cars in a session throwing up gravel all over the track, causing the already pretty brittle tire situation to get even worse.
Yes.
Slicing right through the tires. And probably creating this. I think it's going to create a spectacle tomorrow.
I kind of hope it does. We need something to make this race interesting. But
yeah, I know what would make it interesting.
Don't even say it.
Dogra, I will kick you off this podcast, my friend. We'll get to McLaren. We will get there. Okay, we will get there. But while we are on the topic of track limits, I would like to first talk about Yuki Tsunoda, because we did see in the sprint today he was having a decent go of it. He qualified ahead of Max Verstappen for the first time in the history of ever, and it seemed to be going okay for him. And then too many track limits violations, and he did get a 5-second penalty, which did push him down the order.
Which got him also reinstated when Antonelli had the penalty as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just one position, though, I think. He only lost one, right?
No, but then he got it back because Antonelli also had track limits.
Antonelli also did.
So, yeah. It did get him a penalty, but it didn't really hurt him.
It didn't hurt him
in his position, but
I suppose luck. That's the thing to take away from that incident in particular, because we will see tomorrow a lot of track limits violations, I'm sure, and he got lucky in this instance, but those front runners especially really cannot afford track limits, and whoever is behind Max Verstappen needs to be on their best behavior, because the second he sees a track limits penalty, he is on the phone. And he's not shy.
To be fair, whoever is even ahead of him,
I don't think he'll be reporting anyone behind him tomorrow. I don't think he cares about anyone behind him in the race.
I don't think he ever really cares about anyone behind him. But
he just cares. He just doesn't, care the way that we do.
Yes, but unfortunately for Tsunoda, he did then qualify P16 for tomorrow's race, so he hasn't been able to carry that form or momentum into the Grand Prix qualifying. So that's a shame for him. He's driving for a seat now. It does sound like Hadjar will make the step up to Red Bull, and it doesn't even sound like Tsunoda will be going back to VCARB. It very much sounds like Red Bull do not want to miss out on Lindblad, and they are going to project Verstappen, project Antonelli, go crazy there. So Tsunoda really needed to carry that form on today. But I suppose might go down to Abu Dhabi for him. For his
Pigeon, are we allowed to make that second Red Bull car joke that we did while watching the
race? Probably. I said to Dogra, at what point are we going to call that second Red Bull car a player because it has so many drivers in it? It's been
It
through so
has
many drivers
went
in a
through so
short time.
many.
So yeah.
Well done, guys.
Yeah, I know. We just ruined this episode with that. No, but I think there's genuinely some kind of clause in those contracts for Red Bull where it's like, yeah, we essentially just play hot seat. If you're not doing well, we can just replace you, and just drag you off through, I don't know, somewhere you'll never be seen again. And that's how it
What?
works.
I think the problem is though, Red Bull eventually, as we are seeing it play out now, they only hurt themselves by doing this because then they can't find any driver because you have to hold it to the same standard as the last one that you left there for 5 minutes. It gets very quickly difficult to actually focus on driver development, and
How?
they are letting drivers slip through the cracks. And I think that is why we will be seeing Lindblad on the grid in 2026, because I think Red Bull, even now, are realizing they actually need some longevity in their team, which they're not going to have if they keep turning out drivers every few races.
Yeah,
I mean, it would be quite funny if they demoted Sonoda back to Vika. Just saying.
I just
It'd be horrible for him. Funny as a whole.
I don't even think he's getting demoted. I think he's gone. Quite
I think
frankly,
he might join Aston Martin as a reserve driver. I think Djokovic left the program.
he did. He's
So
gone.
he might just join Aston Martin, but I really don't. I don't agree with what Red Bull are doing. I think you now have a driver who is improving, who matched Verstappen. I would say matched him just about. In the sprint, that's good. He was only a couple tenths off in quali, which is all it is these days. If you're a couple tenths off, then you're out. That's how it works. You have a driver who has almost a full season under his belt at Red Bull, who knows how to. I've said this before. He knows how it works. He knows what he has to do. He has learned from Verstappen already. Why would you throw Hadjar into 2026 with the whole? Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, but I really don't see it, and they really shouldn't, because it's just terrible treatment of your drivers.
Yeah, I mean, we could sit here and talk about the whole Red Bull family for a very long time.
Please
so
don't.
let's not. Yeah, let's move on. But we're not going to move on very far. We are going to talk about Isaac Hadjar very briefly. He did qualify P6 today for the Grand Prix tomorrow. Impressive. He's been impressive. He's been consistent. He's doing everything that he needs to do. He's showing that form as he has done for the majority of the season. So not tons to say there, but just worth noting another impressive performance from him. And on the topic of impressive rookies, starting just next to him in P5 will be Kimi Antonelli. Insane run of form that he's on after that rather large blip he had in the middle of the season. But we know that was down to development issues with Mercedes. But now, yeah, he's starting P5 again after two back-to-back very impressive performances in both Vegas and Brazil. So,
I mean, if he does well tomorrow, he could overtake Lewis Hamilton in the standings. Which I don't even know what kind of stat, we would count that as a good for Antonelli, or just terrible for Hamilton, but make of it what you will.
Both.
that is... that.
I didn't even know that was going to happen, and I'm just sad.
Yeah, he's pretty close. Pretty close.
Oh, damn it.
Do you know how depressing that is? He leaves Mercedes to achieve his dream of racing in red, and now he's driving around in P18 while some 12-year-old overtakes him in the standings.
The person that replaced him is beating him.
It's just really sad to watch. Like
He's 12 points off.
Jesus.
he might be okay.
Eh.
He might be. But that might not last as we head into Abu Dhabi next weekend. Moving on, let's talk a little bit now about the top four. We're getting closer and closer to that dreaded subject that we have to discuss. But George Russell, I honestly thought that he could have been in contention for pole. We saw yesterday for sprint qualifying, he was very quick. And Mercedes, they've shown that they're solid here. It's nothing mind blowing, but still, they've
entire track isn't mind blowing now, is it? That's what you get when you race at a MotoGP track.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your favorite, so you know.
Dogra, draw Qatar for us quickly, would you?
I don't have a pen.
It's like us with a stick, like, come on, do
please
something.
Don't, please don't.
No, I think
you've drawn Qatar enough.
I think Russell was pretty quick yesterday. Was pretty quick in the race too. I mean, finished P2 from P2. So what else do you expect? But I don't think it was just the pace. It's just maybe the tires weren't prepped enough, or not enough tire life left at the end of that qualification lap. But P4 not bad, especially with how well Verstappen and McLaren are doing. He was only, I think, a couple of thousandths off of Verstappen. So
yes. So Russell qualified with a 1:19.662 and Verstappen 1:19.651. There's nothing in it.
yeah.
They were solidly quick. McLaren are a bit further up the road with their lap times, but even so, there was very, very little in it between Antonelli, Russell, Verstappen. Antonelli was a bit behind, but yeah, very impressive lap times, and I think it just shows that consistency that Mercedes have really had this second half of the season since they've corrected that Imola upgrade disaster. I think it puts them in quite nice, nice momentum going into 2026. Because obviously, they've had their successes this year, but I think it will really motivate them for next year because they've been right there. They're always right there, both of them. So yeah, it's a promising result. We could very easily see one of them on the podium if the top three don't behave themselves.
Yeah. We also had a red flag in qualifying.
Let's actually delve into that before we touch the top three, because that is maybe one of the most ridiculous things I have ever seen in modern F1.
Yeah. I have some news though. Williams have been fined €5,000 for an unsafe release. So.
Is that all?
That is all. I mean, that's the standard one. You make a mistake sending a car out, that's €5,000. So
was that for Albon or was that for Sainz?
Sainz. They left a bit of plastic on his right rear tire.
Yeah, which apparently
you have to visualize the car.
Yeah, no one seemed to notice that until the car was halfway down the pit lane.
Yeah, I mean, one mechanic noticed it as soon as he kind of went into the fast lane, but then it's too late. So
just the image of the mechanic guiding him out of the garage and sort of going, I honestly couldn't believe it. Like they've done well. They've done well. Sainz qualified P7 despite that issue, and he'll be happy ahead of both of the Ferraris, I'm sure. Albon did only manage P15, but Sainz has been on it this second half of the season. That is for sure. But yeah, it's just a very, very, very silly thing to do, I think. I was not impressed, but it's done. They've been fined. And that red flag might have helped our good friend Oscar Piastri out a little bit. Anyway,
I mean, there was 5 minutes on the clock. I don't believe that it had any effect whatsoever on the eventual results.
Yeah, but I don't mean that he got out the car and learned everything there was to learn, but it could have given him a bit more time with the data and just looking at where he needed to improve. I don't know if it did. I'm just saying that there is a possibility that he could have, had that moment to himself, looked over the data, looked where he needed to improve. Let's talk about it. So, top 3.
Bottom. Sorry.
I don't have that energy for this, Dogra. I don't have the energy for it. In P3, we have Max Verstappen, who couldn't quite catch the McLarens at the end of the session.
Mm-hmm.
In P2, we have LandoNorris because the team got it wrong again, same as yesterday.
I mean, it wasn't
how?
You can't really say that the team had it wrong.
The team got it wrong. No, the lap time, regardless, the team sent him out at the wrong time. And in P1, we have everyone's new favourite Australian. Yeah, there you go. Which is fun. It's fun. It's so much fun for everyone. Fun end to the season. Fun little title fight happening up there. I mean, the fact of the matter is, right, if it stays like this, it just goes down to the wire. It just goes down to the wire. If Lando wants to win tomorrow, he has got to get him off the line. And that is...
I mean, and that's Verstappen behind.
Before we even go into anything race related, if Norris scores points tomorrow, he is champion. That is the truth. If he scores points tomorrow, he's champion. That's the easy of it.
I don't like these odds.
You don't like the odds that if Norris scores points, then he is champion.
I don't feel secure enough.
That's about as good as you're gonna get them.
I don't feel secure enough.
He has Verstappen behind him, don't forget.
He has Verstappen behind him.
I mean, technically even next to him.
That's even worse! No, look, I honestly... No, I can't even pretend. It's just horrible. It's just a horrible, terrible situation for Norris, not for me personally, obviously. That would be weird. But
I hope the floor is heated.
The floor is not heated, but I've got a nice rug to lie on down there when this inevitably goes wrong, because it will. I don't trust a single one of them in that top 3 to not somehow ruin this. Sure. What Dogra said.
Well, there goes our ad rating.
There it is.
I mean, the thing is, it's gonna fine most of the season, anyways. It's gonna be fine. There's nothing much happened in the sprint either. It's a pretty wide corner as well.
So, I feel like you're giving me a pep talk right now.
I am. I'm looking out for your mental health, okay?
Thank you. No, the thing is, McLaren certainly aren't. Yeah, the thing at hand, the thing is that Max Verstappen, right, he's got a very nothing to lose attitude going on. The whole weekend, he just keeps saying, we're only here because they messed up. Yeah, I'm only here because I have to be. I'm only here because McLaren did this and that. And, well, if it was my car, the championship would already be done. But he's doing his mind games, shall we say. Which is... It's his way, and he's always kind of got that nothing to lose attitude. This is not 2021 for Max Verstappen. So, there's a lot less.
He already has 4 under the belt. He's like,
Yeah,
what's
I
another
don't
one?
think the stakes are as high for him, and that's not me assuming that. He Everything he said in the press this weekend, like, it's like he's held at gunpoint and forced to come and race, like,
No, no.
genuinely.
Pretty
Um,
much. He's chilling.
I could
yeah,
really see him like not winning the championship and then be like, "Yeah, my trophy room was pretty full, so I thought I'd let him have one." You know,
yeah,
kind of like
literally.
that. But
I don't think he
we
has
saw
anything to worry
I
about.
mean,
we saw some mind games in sprint quali and quali as well, where
We did.
Verstappen was intentionally throwing some dirty air in the way of LandoNorris, which some people might recall happened in Singapore, but the other way around. We saw some tweets about Norris trying to mess with Piastri time. I mean, it's all mind games, and it wasn't really impeding, but it throws like a little bit of a spanner in the works, which is
I think
I think fun for the fans, for the you know.
I would honestly say though, like the dirty air situation, I'll concede on that front. But a lot of the time, these things that we think have happened haven't or weren't intentional. You know, a lot of the time, fans will really take something and run away with it. So it's hard to kind of say either way because no one's gonna go and say, yeah, I was just really giving him a hard time. I was breaking all the rules. We're never gonna know for sure. We can only assume based on what we see on track. But I will urge everyone as we head into the last two races, don't look for something that's not there because you're only gonna wind yourself up. That's kind of
She is speaking from experience.
I am speaking from experience. But yeah, Norris just went a bit wrong today, didn't it? Again, same as yesterday. I think they just got their timing a bit wrong. He was out of the pit lane second, for the last Q3 run. Whereas Oscar was still sitting in the garage by the time Lando was halfway around the track. So they left it later, and it paid off. And I think McLaren should have made the call to send them closer together than they did. Obviously, they wanted both of them to be in a good gap, but that's not paid off for Lando today.
Lando had
Same
the
as it
biggest
didn't.
gap. He had the biggest gap of all. It's not the team's fault that he wrecked it in turn one.
Oh no, I'm talking about in terms of leaving it later in the session. I know
Yeah,
that
okay, but still, I
Lando
mean,
made that mistake. He admitted he had a snap of understeer. I want to say
could be.
going in. Yeah, it was a snap of understeer, I believe. And he messed it up. I'm not saying that the lap was the team's fault. The lap was Lando's fault. But sending him out that early in the session, I just don't think was the right call. And
Yeah.
again, we've seen them make these mistakes. McLaren have made a lot of mistakes when it comes to their driver order, driver release. We've seen lots of errors of that nature this season. So while the actual thing that cost him the lap was his fault, he still could have set a great lap, and he didn't. That's on him. I think he should have gone a bit later in the session, but maybe that's just me.
Still P2 in it. He's still starting for P2, so.
Did you just say in it?
Yeah.
I am having an effect. I am having an effect.
No, it's just all the Brits in the group at this point.
The Brits are
Why were
taking
you the
over.
first one to get infected? What the hell?
Because he's the closest.
Yeah.
But yes, so all in all, the stage is set. Really, the stage is set for a something race
Very
tomorrow.
interesting race. Not in terms of actual racing, but in terms of what it means for this championship.
Yeah, and I mean, if there's ever a time to watch the first lap of a race, it's tomorrow. It is tomorrow in a major way. This is not a start I will be missing. The house could be burning down around me, and I am watching that first lap.
How many fingers will you have crossed here tomorrow when the race starts?
Only
just
this.
going,
If you do
just
any
going
more than
all
one,
of
it's unlucky.
Okay.
So you just got to do one.
I will not be crossing any fingers. I lost all hope when I saw the Formula 2 race around this track. I was like, oh, maybe the F2 can kind of, maybe they have something. No, also no.
Let's give a quick shout out to them because they did something. There were some impressive results. Pidge, do you want to talk us through a little bit about what went down in F2 today?
Yeah, we had for sure starting on sprint pole. He's still in contention for the title, so I mean, P10 tomorrow, but still. He won the race, so we got a little bit closer to Fornaroli, who finished P6, so not as much points, but still points. Crawford, who was P2 in the standings, didn't score, so kind of letting it slip with only 1.5 rounds to go. And the other contenders... Yeah, I mean, he's still like 17 points or 20 points clear. So yeah, Browning didn't score. Dunn did score, but he was pretty far off to begin with. So I think he's out tomorrow. And Fornaroli will start on pole tomorrow, so yeah.
Oh boy. That's going to be interesting as well.
It's a fun penultimate round, I think, for all the Formula Series this
Nothing
weekend.
about Qatar is fun. It's a fun qualifying lap, but the rest is just horrendous.
Yeah, I mean, I think now that they're holding it in late November rather than in October, I think it's a more pleasant experience for the drivers. And I think generally speaking, they quite enjoy driving the circuit, but like you say, as a racing track, it's not ideal. And I think for Formula One, yes, this race will be won in the pit lane basically tomorrow. Whoever gets the better start, whoever gets on the better strategy, that will be who wins the race. It's as simple as that. I don't believe we will see this decided wheel to wheel, unfortunately.
It's not a very complicated pit exit either, like it was in Brazil.
What the pit?
Yeah, it was a long ass exit.
It's one of those tracks where you both enter the pit lane on the main straight and exit on the main straight.
Exactly.
It's not an interesting pit lane at all.
You don't exit out in like the end of the track.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite straightforward. I think we will see it play out. But turn one is important. Turn one is important, and then after that, see you in the pit lane.
I think if you want to save some time watching this race, just watch the start, and then just go do something else for about an hour, hour and a half, and then just look at the results.
About a red flag or something.
Yeah, which you can do.
You can keep an eye on live updates by following Fastest Pitstop Live on Twitter, where we will give you all the information and all the relevant highlights from the race in real time. Anyway, but yes, F2.
She definitely doesn't have a teleprompter.
No, I am the teleprompter. No, the F2. If F2 is not exciting, there's no hope. But I'm keeping optimistic. I think that I like strategy and pit lanes and all these things and tires. So I'll have a good time regardless. But just let's not get excited about wheel to wheel. Let's not do it. And maybe we'll have a nice, fun surprise. Maybe. I could see Max going for a dive bomb. I could see that really shaking things up. So...
Are you sure you should think that?
We shall see. But I think that is pretty much it from us. But before we do go, I would like to hear your podium predictions, please. And don't just give me the order that they've qualified in.
That's pretty much it.
So you don't want us to be honest about how this race is going to finish?
No.
I'll throw a spanner in the works. I'm gonna. What did I say again for Las Vegas? Verstappen, Russell, and Antonelli. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. I've been a week late with all of my predictions, so I'll do that. I can see the McLaren scratching out, 2023 style.
Should I throw a curveball as well?
I think you'll kill Jazz if you do that.
Hamilton, Leclerc, Piastri.
If that happens, that would have been the race of the season.
I could get behind that, you know. As long as Lando's in P4, I could get
Norris
behind that.
Sorry.
I'm blocking you. I'm gonna put this into the universe. Norris
Wins the championship.
Verstappen Piastri. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I think Oscar realistically Oscar will win tomorrow.
If he does,
But
then
nothing
the
is ever
championship battle.
simple. Nothing is ever
Wait,
simple.
wait.
Nothing is ever
Even
straightforward. So
even if they finish in the same order, right? Would Norris wins the championship tomorrow then?
No. If Piastri wins, he's still in it.
yeah, it will go down to Abu Dhabi, but
Verstappen will be out though, because it's 25 points
yes.
now. So then it would be more than 25, and you can only score 25 points in Abu Dhabi. I don't know why that
What's the difference between
so
Piastri and Norris?
You gain 2 points on him in the sprint, so 22 points.
Ooh.
You do the math.
Plus 25 minus 5.
Okay, shall we
That's
just end
pretty
it
good.
here?
-5.
Us doing math on podcast is not at all interesting.
It is not a valuable use of anyone's time. So we will end it there. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you after the race as well. Let's see how that plays out. You can join us tomorrow on the podcast for that. And in the meantime, please do keep an eye on our social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram.
We should really just make a
TikTok.
list, just flash it across the screen.
Please, someone do that. And whatever you call Twitter. As I say, you can follow us on Twitter. Follow along live on Fastest Pitstop live, where we will give you all the updates as it happens on track. Thank you so much for joining us, and let's see what Qatar brings.
Not an interesting race, just an interesting consequence. That's
Bye.
Bye.
all.